This guy is the other founding member of Crüe Comedy. I owe so much to him for giving me my start in comedy. Absolute legend. He's leaving us soon, so I'm going to be a bit sappy here. We're going to miss you, Ray. Here's your final show, and don't come back because this won't be that sappy if you do. This is like you dying, basically, okay? So Ray's dead now, after tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, to the stage, Ray Murphy, everybody!
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dave, for, making me feel sad already. What? How many people here knew I was leaving?
Hey!
Yeah, catch up. For any of you in the room that don't know me, I'm Naren if both of his parents came from Norway. I was hoping I'd get away with that. Thank you guys for sticking around. We did have a big crowd at the start and it did kind of dwindle a little bit, but I'm actually happy because everybody in this room right now is someone that actually impacted my stand-up or my life in some way, and I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you all for being there. We'll get into it. Anybody pay attention to American news last week? Woo! Anybody see the big headline? Fucking aliens. We have fucking aliens. We are on the cusp of nuclear war. And Biden turned to that bald whistleblower and went, "Here, tell them they're real." Just to fucking distract us. Cause for a long time aliens were a conspiracy. Anyone here into conspiracies? Yeah, we got a couple of hands there. Orla, have you? Double hand, so you really love your conspiracies. Do you have one in particular that really stands out? You think COVID was a conspiracy?
No, I don't know. This COVID was real, but I don't think it was nothing here.
Oh, they definitely
big fucking.
Yeah.
It was a thing, because I got COVID. But
It was,
nowhere. I've been much sicker with a hangover.
Jeez, I'm gonna miss you.
It was bollocks, it was 2 days during it.
I asked you for a conspiracy and you gave me everything but.
I don't know.
COVID was the government trying to control us. That's basically what she said.
The government trying to control us, that there was chips in the vaccine. To be honest with you, I don't put too much stock into conspiracies. I don't really think that George Bush had much to do with 9/11. That's not a conspiracy that I really believe in. But I do believe the conspiracy that Diana was driving.
No, Ray.
Yeah, that one takes a second. Where did I go after that?
Sophie was murdered by the French government.
You think Sophie Toussaint de Condé was murdered by the French government? And they picked the most French-looking fella in West Cork to be the one that fucking bashed her with a rock, was it? Huh?
Was the Harvey Weinstein of the French government?
He didn't, I don't think so. I don't really pay. Does anyone know that? Did he get done?
I thought there was something in Mania. I thought
I spoke to Jordan actually.
He's alive.
Do you know what? So did I. Do you know he has a business card? The card. It's a great conversation starter with French women, I swear to God.
He's alive and kicking in West Cork.
I know, isn't he fucking... Well, kicking, but he's still got that really big staff. I can't tell if that's a staff or a really weird didgeridoo.
Try to make conversation with everyone.
It's like a didgeridoo with a French accent.
I love that.
What else is in the news this week? Stone Cold Steve Austin died last week.
No! We saw it!
Sorry, Sinead O'Connor died last week. She did, in fairness.
I didn't think you were that sensitive.
I didn't know you were part of the club like me.
Oh yeah, foundation mats. But yeah, Sinead O'Connor died last week, man. Fucking sad for Ireland. Like a pillar of Irish music, just like taken from us. And then a month after Christy Dignam dies, you're one that ripped the picture the Pope went. Oh, that one didn't fucking work. Okay, cool. Sinead wasn't really a big thing in my household, but like we weren't really big fans of her music. But my dad always kind of got me. He always reminded me that you should respect what she did. You know, fighting the Catholic Church. Fucking, she brought up like that whole thing with Palestine well before any of us even saw those lads on Paul Street doing it. Do you know what I mean? That was meant to be the serious build to my punchline.
Ultimate feminist.
Oh, she was. Absolutely. And those are things that we should never fucking forget. But like, I'm not that sad about it because, to be honest with you, I thought she died years ago. Everything she went through, I never thought she made it to 56. You could really say that like she latched onto life by the skin of her head. Booing me. Oh, come on. But you know what? Like, I do this out of luck. She was fantastic. She was, in fairness. Since that night on Saturday Night Live, she kicked off what our generation is today. That we fight for fucking what's right. Am I right? Yeah, she did. In fairness. Now!
R.I.P. Sinead.
It didn't take fucking long though, did it? Like a day after her death was announced, all the people with the fucking pink bobs wearing Crocs. Look at what she did! We need to fight the Catholic Church. It's like, yeah, we know. We fucking know. Like priests that haven't even touched kids, basically fucking unicorns. We're fighting the church. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
We are fighting the church. Absolutely. But it's not like they killed her. She's not a fucking martyr. Like, she died in her home. I also think it's the most... Well, it hasn't come out yet. Bear with me. Like, I think Sinead O'Connor not being killed by the Catholic Church is one of the most ironic deaths. I think it would make so much more sense if like that lunatic from the Da Vinci Code did it. Do you know like that scene with the fucking the one scene in the entire movie that shocks the shit out of everyone. And I do. I think Sinead O'Connor not being killed by the Catholic Church is the most ironic death I've heard since I found out Paul Walker was in the passenger seat. I got such a better reaction tonight than the first time we did this, right? Too fresh, too soon. Too soon. R.I.P. Sinead. Too soon?
Mental health house to go.
Anyway. Sure, fuck it, we'll pick it up a notch. You've already seen the rest of my set, so we'll just go with it anyway. Any single ladies in the building? We got a few out tonight. Awesome. Any single fellas in the building? Losers. Single fellas, I envy. 3 guesses why.
You're not
You're not, you can't
myself and my girlfriend were actually fighting. We're fighting at the minute. My girlfriend, who won? No, myself and my girlfriend, we are fighting at the minute. I'll tell you why, right? My girlfriend turned around to me the other day and said that I smoke too much weed. Boo! Thank you. I'll tell you what happened, right?
I take that food back.
What? Water right here
I
somewhere.
take that food back.
I'm sweating like a paedophile up here, like fucking.
So fucking
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what happened, right? Oh, nice one. Thank you. I'll tell you what happened. So I was sitting on my couch and she came down and she sat down next to me and she goes, Ray, sometimes I feel like you smoke too much. It's kind of like, sorry, her voice wasn't that deep. She goes, Ray, sometimes I feel like you smoke too much. It's it's like, sometimes you can't tell me what's real. Why do you do it so much? And I said to her, I was like, well, babe, to be quite honest with you, my doctor said it's very good for me. And she said, who's your doctor? Dre. Thank you for laughing at that. She didn't laugh at that one fucking bit. Bewildered by the fact I said that. Now. Here's where it gets weird. I'm single.
Mary Jane was having a question there.
What, you have a question?
No, Mary Jane was having a question.
Mary Jane had a question, yeah. Jesus.
Hey, should you really be talking to me or not?
The amount of times I smoked herbs, I swear to God. But yeah, no, as oh, thank you so much, John. You're fucking legend. Thank you.
What kid?
That's usually the point where someone brings me a new drink and then I find my other
It's
one.
like the young
Oh, we're about to have a fucking great time, so.
There's a couple of roofies in there as well.
As Jack did say, or sorry, as Dave said, I'm so used to Jack hosting when I'm on, like fucking. Actually, by the way, give it up for Dave Savage, like. A legend, man. Absolute legend of a host. I love when you host. I love watching you host, man. You're fucking incredible. But as Dave did say, I am leaving. I'm going to go travel. I'm going to go travel Europe for as long as I can, which could be a month, could be a week. This could be something. This could be some big send off, and you're going to see me a week later, and I'm like, I'm back, guys! How'd it go? The hooker kicked the shit out of me. I'm scared.
2 days, right? 2 days.
2 days. Well, you know. Thanks, Orla.
Do like a turn around, really?
I'm so happy you were here for my last Crüe show, like fucking up.
I'm so happy.
But yeah, no, I am, and it's because like I've never left the country. I've never really gone anywhere. The furthest I've actually gone in terms of like living abroad, let's say, fucking West Cork. West Cork is its own fucking world. I was in East Cork today, and I thought I was still in the city. I go to West Cork, it's fucking Narnia, lads. Narnia if they were allowed yolks. Like, Jesus Christ. Pantry boys. Oh, the Pantry boys are here. And the lady who brought me here, she's the lady, Angel Fleming, brought me to Pantry back in 2019, helped me clean up my act. You did. Angel put me on an island. My first time living out of home, and I got put on a fucking island, right? To put that into perspective, I was already a wanker of a drinker, and then they put me on a place with no rules. Like,
Game on. Like sending a criminal to jail.
That's what?
Sending a criminal to jail.
Basically, I was like, well, I mean, it was like a really nice prison. It was like, do you know where those prisons where like accountants go?
I was like in Norway.
Yeah, it was just we didn't really have like tennis courts and shit. We were allowed to drive cars without license, tax, or insurance.
You told
That was class. I totaled with 4 cars in that fucking island. But after 4 months of living on that island, and after totaling 4 cars, I basically got threatened to leave. So I left. I ended up moving into the town centre, and like it was really easy. Like 2 weeks into that, I basically became a local. They accepted me. It was really cool. But like the guards, when you're new in a small country town, the guards love to fuck with you. I swear to God. I remember one night I was finishing up work. I was very new, and I just brought all my stuff down, and I had to bring them into my new house, right? So I had like these 2 massive bags. I was wearing a grey hat. I had a camo hoodie on. I basically looked like I was after robbing somebody or someone's house. So I have the 2 bags with me. I'm finished up work, and I'm walking home. It's about 2 in the morning, and this paddy wagon like fucking comes up in front of me, and I'm walking, and like I'm from Ballincollig. Like if a paddy wagon's coming, you just keep fucking walking. So I'm walking, and next thing, out of the corner of my eye, all I see in a paddy wagon is just this. because they still have the fucking wind down windows, you know? Now, obviously I couldn't see above here, so this looked really fucking strange. And then all I heard was, hold it up! I turned and was like, Garda? He was like, who do you know? I was like, my name is Ray, I'm new to the town, I just moved here onto just the street around the corner there. And they were like, oh, right, John, where are you coming from? I was like, work. And they were like, are you having a few drinks tonight? I was like, no, I'm going straight home, I'm just taking my shit home with me and whatever. And, I forgot to mention, earlier in the day, I bought Tic Tacs to keep my breath fresh in work, right? But I stepped on the box. So all I had to put the Tic Tacs in was a little baggie. On my way home, I wanted to stop at an Indian takeaway to get a bottle of Coke because I was thirsty. And the guard went, oh, where are we coming from? And I just went, oh, I was just getting Coke off the Indian. I got searched. So they came in, they started patting me down and the fucking baggie fell out. And they were like, what's that? I was like, it's for my breath! It's for my fucking, I swear to you, like, I fucking cry in front of guards, lads. I weep. Like, it's the best way to get away from them, like. So, cut to about maybe 2 months later. Yeah, you know what's coming. Cut to about 2 months later, I have a Latvian roommate. And she became my best friend instantly because the two of us were like Beavis and fucking Butthead. My front room every single fucking day was like that shit in what's the game with the zombies and all the fog?
If zombies in 1 War for 2 like or something.
Last of Us?
Silent Hill.
Oh, that's the one.
My front room every single fucking day. Every night looked like the fog in Silent Hill. We're sitting on the couch and my Latvian's friend's phone goes off. And she answers the phone, she's like, hello.
Rewind, you
And
were
all
trying first.
Yeah, I suppose he did try to ring me first, but I was stunned.
I'm not gonna answer.
All I could hear when she answered the phone was and she went, okay, and hung up the phone. And she looked at me and she went, we have to go pick someone up from the guard station. And I went, come again? So we had a friend in Bantry who had a 16-year-old brother who also lived on that island, right? And the brother wasn't living in Bantry. His mother was living in the city and the dad was living on the island, and after 6 o'clock nobody can come from the island. So I was the only person that they knew to go and pick up the 16-year-old for drunk cycling. Oh, that's the thing. You can't cycle drunk.
Right, you're an appropriate adult.
Appropriate adult. So,
You mean you were
okay, I'm sorry, right? So, we leave the house, we're going into the guard station, we're walking away, and I turn to her and I'm like, okay, when we get in there now, you need to have my back because I haven't a fucking clue. Like, we are walking, but my brain is still at the fucking house coming this way. And she was like, no problem. And I was like, oh, you should hear her say vegetables because vegetable is classic. So we get to the guard station. We go in. We're like, hi, yeah, we're here to pick up so and so. We're just here to pick him up and take him home. And I went, my name is Ray Murphy, and this is Xanda. And Xanda, all of a sudden, couldn't speak a word of fucking English. So she got to wait in the door where you could get out of the station. I got brought into the bit you can't escape from. And I swear to God, when I tell you, my eyes were as red as the devil's dick. So we go in, I'm taken into this office, and I'm faced in front of a fucking guard. And he's giving me the whole story about what happened, right? He's like, all I'm hearing is... And I'm just standing there like, oh yeah, oh sure, fucking young fellas, boy, what can you do?
Jack.
They were just ratting him out there. So he tells me basically what happened was this. So kid's on the bike, he's after a couple of cans, and he's cycling down the road, and he's cycling like fucking this, right? And he doesn't notice the Garda car coming up until the lights go off, until the fucking siren lights go off. And the kid then, he sees the lights, and he literally, like the guards were like, stop, and he didn't stop. So they go again, they go, stop, and this is what he did, he goes, it's okay. It's okay. It's my last night. It's okay. We're having fun. We're having fun.
I turned it
So,
off all night.
anyway, so the lights. All right, I hear you. So guards come and like stop, stop. So this is what he does. He sees the guards. Gets off the bike. Picks it up. Turns around. Gets back on the bike. And starts like slowly. He thinks he's going fast. He thinks he's taking off. The guard just strolls up next to him and just gets him by the collar and takes him off into the car. Boom, done. I got told all this, and then the guard turned around to me and he said, "You're the new fella, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah, that's me. I'm Ray. Nice to meet you, Garda." I was trying not to giggle as well, as so fucking hard. And then the guard looks at me and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Murphy, are you aware that it's illegal to be smoking cannabis in a public setting? Never mind being intoxicated in the Garda station." I said, "What?" And he was like, and he just, it felt like a fucking hour. It felt like an hour. And then he reaches into his drawer and he pulled out a box of Tic Tacs. And he said, "Your breath stinks, boy." I was happy to tell that joke one more time because that was the first. Thank you. That was the first. Okay.
It was my song. It's all true.
Yeah, this is real. It is 100% the true story. 100% the true story. Yeah, 100%.
Tic Tacs.
Huh?
Did you get to keep the Tic Tacs?
No, whatever. He gave me one. Like.
What a fruit boy! They're actually
It's good. I have seen that guy do cocaine on a bar table. And that is something that if I ever go back to that town and they hear I said that, I will be buried. Exactly.
That's why you never go back.
Huh? The table? No. Fucking. The plate did though, in fairness. 3 in the morning at a lock and they asked me for a plate. I was like, fucking, oh, what's that for? Yeah, because I don't do hard drugs. I didn't know you fucking sniff shit off a plate. Like, they just asked me for a fucking plate. Before I go, I want to say once again, thank you, everyone here.
Thank you,
Harry, earlier in the night you were talking about Jesus' cousin Jesus.
Yeah.
I think a few people know where I'm about to go with this. As I've said before, I am single. The reason I am single is not too recently I got dumped fucking hard. Thank you. It's always great to get that pause. I'm asthmatic. Yeah, and it took me a while. I looked into a lot of things to find like a bit of closure to make myself a little bit happier. In terms of like trying not to replace one relationship with another because nobody likes that shit. It doesn't work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did what every sane Irish person does. I turned to the Bible.
I thought you were going to take up a Bible. I really can't see the Bible behind that speaker.
No.
I was like,
I turned to the Bible, and what I learned from the Bible is it's full of shit. I'll tell you why. I went there to find closure out of being dumped, out of being fucking. I was cheated on. It's fucking terrible. But I looked to one story in the Bible, right? I thought this one story might give me a bit of closure. Anyone here familiar with the Immaculate Conception?
Yeah.
Now, I know what I'm going for here isn't exactly the Immaculate Conception, and if anyone's going to correct me on that, shut the fuck up, you nerd.
Bible nerd.
But I did. I looked at that story. I looked at the birth of like where Jesus and Mary being pregnant, and like when I'm looking at that story, I wasn't looking at Mary. I wasn't looking at Jesus. I was looking at Joseph.
You raised another man.
Where's your face going?
Joseph Christ. Joseph was a carpenter. A fucking tradesman. Anyone here ever met like a plumber or a fucking mechanic who thought that it was a fucking miracle that his virgin wife was pregnant? See, I've got a story. I think I'll tell you what I think actually happened, right? I think Mary went out to town, like went to the temple with her best friend, Sharon. And I think they decided after they go for a snaky scoop in the old tavern, do you know what I mean? And then one scoop turned into more, and that turned into more, and then there was like a fucking stag do happening at the other end of the bar, right? So they have a great night, they're in with the boys, and like it's grand and whatever. Cut to the next morning, Mary is hungover as fuck. She's at the back door, smoking a cigarette, trying to recover. And then Joseph comes downstairs. He's putting on his little carpenter belt and he's getting ready for his day of work. And he fucking sees her standing there. And he goes, "Where were you last night?" "Sham." And she turns around and she's like, "None of your fucking business." Kid. And then Joseph's like, "But I'm like your husband, I have a right to know." And then Mary goes, "Well, if you must know, I met this angel last night named Gabriel. He blessed me with the Son of God. Twice." You think that's all well and good? You think that's a bit of a joke, right? But cut to about maybe 16 weeks later, Mary's starting to show. And her and Joseph are walking down the town together holding hands, on their way to the market. One of Joseph's friends sees him and he's like, "Ah, Joe, you finally fucking... You finally get... You fucking did what you did!" And then Joseph has to go, "No." There was an angel named Gabriel. Apparently it was twice, What further proof of that? Take a look at the birth of Jesus. 3 fellas showed up with gifts. That's not really the note I want to end things on. Break out another old classic there now. Yeah, going travelling. I want to do a good bit because I've never really been anywhere. The furthest I've ever actually really travelled is Dublin. And I've already been mugged in Dublin. It's all good. It's all good. I'll tell you the story, okay? So do you know the Halfpenny Bridge? Where I love that.
Hey, Benny.
Yeah, the Halfpenny Bridge, where we're filming it, the famous video for that one song, right? No, it's not Ha. It's not Ha. If you go to Dublin and say Ha, you will get shanked. Like, ah, do you know what I mean? Like,
Bring it on.
they'll have all your money for a hostel. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, I did. I got mugged at the Halfpenny Bridge. I'll tell you what happened, and then I'm gonna sign off, right? So I was walking along the bridge, and this dude came up to me. Now this dude looked like me, but he looked like he didn't shower twice as much as I don't. And he just fucking comes up and he grabs me, he fucking throws me off against the side of the bridge. Like I stayed on it, like. But so I'm at the fucking, I get fucking knocked, and he turns around to me and goes, "Have you used your wallet?" And I'm on the ground like, I don't know. Because I'm a tit. Now, lads, I can't handle pressure. I'm so shit at handling pressure, right? So this guy is trying to fucking get me to get my wallet out of my pocket. The problem is, I have a zip pocket. Now, for all the fellas in the room, I'm sure you understand that in high pressure situations, it's very hard to get your zipper down. Right? So I'm there, and I'm trying to work it like this, I'm trying to fucking, and he's behind me, he's like, "Would you fucking come on with you?" And I'm like, "Fucking give me a second." And he's like, "Get it fucking going." And before I could put the words back in my mouth, I broke under the pressure, I turned to him and I went, "Don't make me get sexy!" That's on a police report. Imagine if that went to fucking trial and the stenographer had to read that back. She give me some fucking look, boys. I tell you, that isn't even the weirdest part of that story. After I put out that belter of a line, there was this young lady who was like walking past us, and she just noticed what had just been going on. And she heard me say that. So she went over to him. Not to me. She went over to him, she was like, "Are you alright? Like, is he trying to rape you?" So my closing statement is, if you ever want to meet someone that has been mugged and Me Too'd at the same time, guys, thank you so much.